as an identity of a scientific type, a scientific for itself, in a way, affirming in an immanent manner the identity of art and philosophy that we will qualify as, in the last instance, transform dialectical identity of art and philosophy, in Hegel, in an identity not dialectical, but scientific, as an identity of a scientific type, a scientific for itself, in a way. So, what can such a scientific identity be? Especially a quantic identity. Precisely, in quantum physics, there is no identity in the metaphysical sense. In the same manner that Cantor sets in mathematics imply for Badiou, this is an example, the neutering of the one. The wave and particle framework of quantum physics that we use as model for non-standard aesthetics implies the suspension of its proper one. That is to say, the corpuscular form of concepts and philosophy, and that implies its comprehension or reduction to the state of particle. In other words, as wave form. Une parenthèse.
I have a little parenthesis here.
Il me semble, je n'en suis pas sûr, que la langue anglaise ne distingue pas très bien corpuscule et particule.
And it seems to me that the English language doesn't distinguish quite that well corpuscule and particle.
Un corpuscule est un petit corps.
A corpuscle is a small body.
Une particule n'est pas un corps.
A particle is not a body.
C'est une onde.
It's a wave.
Même si certains physiciens maintiennent plus ou moins la différence entre onde et particule.
Even if certain physicists go into the idea of a difference between a wave and a particle. While mathematics remains at the level of multiplicities, Cantor, with the void as underpinning, the physics I invoke as model concerns the multiplicities of particles and their underpinning as wave form, rather than as void. It is the only way to render philosophy intelligible by stopping to celebrate it as a species of speculative mathematics. Indeed, in my opinion, philosophers have a truncated view of philosophy's unity as a simple and excessively isotropic environment, so that Badiou, for instance, thinks he is activating it, philosophy, by activation the one on behalf of the count as one. Or again, it's the same thing. He believes he can sever ontology from philosophy. My
thesis is that philosophy counts as a structure of the two and the one, not as a simple unity. His critique or deconstruction is thus not simple. It is an operation that proves to be complex. Concretely, this scientific idea bears another name and another process. Another name and another process. It is a superposition. Superposition. Superposition of vectors. It is a sphere of ontovectorial property. Not set, not onto set.
Cantor set.
Mathematical. An ontovectorial property rather than a macroscopic property, and which can only be said of the addition, superposition of vectors. The suspension of identity, or the metaphysical one, lets transpire an ontovectorial superposition that is an underdetermined identity and non-complete. It is the task of the imaginary number characterizing ontovectoriality to explain this superposition. Imaginary number, racine carrée de moins 1.
The imaginary number, square root of -1.
Alors, the generic orientation. Now, why is this superposition not only said not only said to be quantic, but also generic? We already get from the quantic translation a large part of the condition for obtaining the generic. This term has several philosophical origins, at least two. One from logic and mathematics, Paul Joseph Cohen, and philosophy, in philosophy, Badiou. The other philosophical and anthropological, Feuerbach and young Marx, early Marx. The one I am attempting to develop, the one in interpretation of generic, I am attempting to develop is philosophical, close to that of Feuerbach and early Marx, yet quantic and algebraic. There are constants in the generic style. The first is a form of an average universal or middle ground between the one whole and singularity or individuality. The generic is restricted. It excluded the extremes of the whole and of the individual to which the whole applies. The second is that the generic is capable of supporting a multiplicity of heterogeneous acts or predicates, among other things, the source of science and philosophy, or art and philosophy. The generic is endowed with extension, but without totality or singularity. Thus, underdetermined, non-absolute. The third is that it possesses a genealogical or critical power of giving the illusion of the appearance of the whole. The fourth is to create truths from knowledge, that is to say, a form of hesitant and probable knowing, connaissance. Out of supposed confirmed facts of knowledge, savoir. Le générique est le passage des savoirs à la connaissance et à la vérité.
The generic is the passage of forms of knowledge to knowledge,
Right, to knowing
to knowing.
and truth.
Knowing. It is a process of knowing. It is neither a philosophical act nor an act of posited knowledge. But the real question about the generic boils down to knowing what is the subject or who is the subject of non-standard aesthetics and what type of knowing can be generated. Here we must return to the second operation. Non-standard aesthetics, as we have said, takes for its object not art or philosophy separately or hybridized, but an object X, likely human, and a subject is in one of its aspects. It is capable of doing heterogeneous acts, each of which has its specificity, but it is also capable of being determined by them. I indicated that at last act was required to move from the inverted product of variable or facts of knowledge to the truth to be produced, or else from the actual subject to knowing that subject. This operation consists in indexing each of the products of the variables, philosophy are, on the specific of the quantic. The imaginary or complex number which allows for an ontovectorial translation of facts of knowledge. The facts of knowledge are transformed by imaginary number in ontovectoriality. Non-standard aesthetics is no longer a discourse on molar or molecular objects. It must give way to an ontologically double reading. It is not structured like a discourse with signifiers and signifieds, apt to give rise a psychoanalytical interpretation or semiotic description or deconstruction, but rather like a game or a field of linked vectors or forces that is at the same time a field of particle-like objects. Such an operation deserves to be examined further. The imaginary number is thereby readable or superposed with itself and creates a quasi-interiority or ontovectorial immanence that succeeds in integrating art and philosophy within the same set.